Hey everyone, it's Sharita. Thank you so much for tuning in to this here video. Um, Sorry I've been delayed with my video this week. Life has been lifing right now. So I'm a couple days behind, but I know y'all will forgive me. So anyway, in this video, I'm gonna talk about something that I'm not exactly comfortable talking about, and it has taken me a while to get to the point to be able to, share this, information about how I feel about this particular topic. Um, but yeah, so yeah, I did develop the courage to talk to a couple of people on an individual basis about it, but I've never publicly discussed it. But um, but anyway, I know in my last video I did mention that I had suicidal ideation when I was on a medication, but I never mentioned what happened while I was coming off the medication that actually worked for me. So when I finally found a medication that worked for me, it was fine. But the withdrawal period, when you stop taking the medication, that part was a bit difficult for me. Now, I was on a medication for about a year after my series of panic attacks and anxiety attacks, which I've mentioned a number of times. So I'm not trying to be a dead horse here. But anyway, I saw a psychiatrist. I was on this medication that was working very well for me. Um, Kept seeing him. Like, we first started off with regular visits until we started spacing it out a little bit more, where I was seeing him once per month. Now, it got to the point where he started tapering me off. So it started off at 20 milligrams, and then he started tapering me off till I got to the minimum amount, which was 2.5, and my condition was improving. So he was like, well, um, there's nothing else between 2.5 and 0, so you can just go ahead and come off of the medication. And I was super happy about that. I was like, yay. So I stopped taking it. Now, during that session, he never mentioned anything about a withdrawal period, or, what kind of symptoms or whatever I may have during that time. So I wasn't anticipating anything. I was just super glad that I was no longer on medications. So anyway, within a week, I started feeling like really sick. I was having like terrible headaches, nauseous, like for no reason. Um, and like I was super dizzy, like the whole world was spinning. Like I wasn't even like able to move my head like in a regular motion without feeling sick, or even walk well. Um, and it kind of hit me when I was at work. So my dad had to come get me from work that day, because I called and my mom. I was like, I'm not feeling well. So anyway, I just thought that was just kind of like me feeling like super exhausted from a weekend road trip that I had taken. But I later learned that that wasn't the case, because I brought it up to the talk therapist that I was seeing, and she was like, those are symptoms of withdrawal. And she kind of like pulled up on Google like the different withdrawal symptoms from this particular medication, and that's exactly what I was feeling. It was, you know, um, and I wish, even though it wouldn't really change the fact that I would experience it, but I wish I was told by the psychiatrist that that I would or could possibly experience some of these things. But anyway, about a month later, I was getting ready to wash my hair, and prior to that, I never had any form of like emotional distress or anything like that. I was doing well. or I felt like I was doing well. But anyway, I was about getting ready to wash my hair, and then this like very strange, unusual thought just came over me. Um, and at that point, I just wanted it in my life. And I was in the bathroom, and I was getting ready to get the tub, going with water. And, like in studies, it would say, like, if you are about to end your life, then, there are different signs and stuff like that. But I didn't have any signs because, like, as I said, like, I felt great. Like, I was getting back into the rhythm of my life. Like, everything was going good, after a whole year of, things being crazy. So, there were no signs, and I never had any thought or anything like that prior to that moment. And I won't get into, everything about suicide because, it's not suicide week, prevention week, sorry, or suicide prevention month. So we'll have videos about that during that time. But anyway, I kind of got a scoop of water to, I guess, I don't know what I was thinking, maybe to test it out or something. And it hurt so bad. And I started bawling my eyes out because I was thinking, like, um, because my mom wasn't at home at the time. And I was thinking, like, what if she came home and saw me there lifeless? Like, like, how would I feel knowing that I put my mom through the distress of ending my life? And yeah, I was just crying. And then I found the courage to kind of pull myself together and you know fulfill the task that I was in the bathroom to do. I washed my hair. I eventually took a shower, got dressed, and never mentioned it at all. Like, just went back to my regular schedule. But later that day, I felt like a need to share it. So I sat my mom down and I had a conversation with her about it, and we will have a video about that later, so we won't get into all that stuff. But anyway, I guess the point of this video is just kind of say that it does happen. Suicide ideation does happen, suicidal thoughts, they do occur. Sometimes it's not necessarily because of a traumatic event in your life, or anything that you're particularly going through. But it does happen because you were on some kind of medication and it caused, you to have that thought. I know here in the United States, the FDA, the Federal Drug Association, has kind of put a little bit of pressure on antidepressant companies, the companies that make antidepressants, to kind of, provide some kind of information about suicidal ideation as a symptoms. Because I know we're afraid to have conversation about suicide. And I've come a long way to get to the point where I can actually talk about it. Um, and it's a difficult topic to discuss, because whenever you get to the point where you're wanting to end your life, which is a gift, it's very difficult. But different situation cause people to get to that point. Thankfully, I didn't go through with it, because I've seen so many great things since that. And that kind of brought me to this Bible verse here from Jeremiah. And I know I've used this in a previous video a long time ago. 29 verse 11, where it says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." So those two words, hope and future, it's kind of like inspiring and, helpful for people who are going through anything in their life that may seem difficult. Because if you're hopeful, it's like you believe that something will change, and in the future will give you the opportunity to see that change, So, yeah, I know I seemed a little bit awkward and a little like throughout this video, because I kind of like pushed myself a little bit outside the box to share this. So hopefully, this can continue to be a conversation that we'll have, with other people and stuff like that, so that we can be a little bit more open to discuss it, so that if we get to a point where we feel like having a plan to move forward with suicide, then we'll have the support to combat that, to counteract that. Okay, so here in the US, there are a number of ways to find support. You can either call or text 988. And for my Jamaican viewers, and I saw this on like a lot of billboards when I visited Jamaica the past couple of times, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is great, because there's a push towards mental health. And I know, especially for the male counterparts, they tend to not want to discuss certain things because they don't want to feel like they're weak, or stuff like that. But just that awareness is just super good. So if you see it a lot and you hear it a lot, it become normalized, which I think is the point that we need to get to. But anyways, again, for my Jamaican friends, there is a phone number that I can call. That's 888-63-5433. Again, that's 888-63-5433. And it's 888 New Life. I mean, that's just, like, yes, you have one life, but going to a different chapter, it makes it feel like a new life when you have all the tools and you're equipped to move forward, coming from like any kind of traumatic event or any kind of distressing moment or anything like that. And there's a wealth of information on the Ministry of Health and Wellness website. I've never really gone into depth of checking it out. Sorry, I'm looking at my phone that much, but when I decided to talk about this, and I kind of checked out the website, and I was like, wow, this is amazing. Thankfully, I'm not the first to have conversations about this, and hopefully I won't be the last. But anyway, that's it for now. Thank you so much for taking time to hang out with me. I do hope that, we can continue this conversation through comments. So I'll ask that you, share your thoughts about this topic, whether, you've experienced it or you've not, somebody that has had these thoughts, or you've lost someone by suicide, or any encouraging words for those who are currently thinking about ending their life. But yeah, let's just make it respectful and just have it like as an open forum to have this discussion. I hope you share, like, and subscribe for these videos, as I'm just trying to share a little bit more about myself and different things that I've experienced with everyone, because that's very new to me. But yeah, so take care, be blessed, and chat soon. Bye.